everyone, to Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing. I am your host, Jason Ryland. Thank you. Hey, guys, what we're going to cover today is we're going to cover some examples we were talking about yesterday from Session 1. We're going to wrap up Session 1 with some examples. We're going to move right on to Session 2, and we're going to explore some wonderful leveraging techniques. Now, let's go over some examples from what we talked about yesterday. And this is really a lot of fun. So I took these examples. Some of them are very simple things that you can do to start incorporating right now. And others are going to require some more planning that will be more specific to certain areas of your life. Okay, so think about the things like drinking alcohol, for example. Okay, I use that example because I'm actually 4 years sober, and I had that in my life, and I used to use the excuse that it was to relax, or I had a busy lifestyle. I was considered quote unquote functional alcoholic. I drank a lot, guys, and I had to get rid of that. In order for me to have the success I had today, I can tell you right now that now I didn't. It did cause strife in my relationships. It did cause some problems. I mean, I didn't, lose the farm or anything, but what it did do is it didn't do really well. I actually ended up going to treatment and everything for my alcoholism, and to this day I'm 4 years sober. So I use that as an example, because you can be down and out and still bounce back if you really want it. And a lot of people do this in the evening to relax. They have a drink, right? Or they go to happy hour or something. And I have more in my life previously, like I had explained, but I don't anymore, because especially I am 50 years old, and it really affects my productivity. I wanted to be a success. I knew I had it in me, but it wasn't at the bottom of the bottle. So say you're having an evening off, but the next day you're just a little bit slower, and it takes you a little longer to get into things. So you must make a choice like that, right? So, or it could be like watching TV versus your productivity. Your favorite show's on, whatever, or if it's your downtime maybe, and you just want to do what you want to do. For a long time, I didn't watch any TV. I didn't. I'm watching a little bit more now because I'm trying to relax a little bit more, and actually I spend more time with my wife. We have some favorite things that we do together. But we watch things like on PureFlex and stuff, where we do things that are entertaining for us, that are kind of fun. But it's a great way to relax. And there are times that I don't even turn on the TV at all. And if I have a business, I have to have clients, right? Versus no clients. And if I have clients that I'm working for, it's a great way to start making money right away, because if I find just a few people who are willing to pay for my services and my time, and bam, I got a business. So I am a web developer. I know how to do logos. I know how to I have programming skills. I can build sales funnels. I have a full service web agency right now, where we do white paper, we do promotional ads, we do a lot of things. But that took work, and that's a job. You get paid for the time that you are working with your clients. So if you sell products, some people do. I have some of my clients that I build websites for sell products, and or something else that you're not getting paid for your time, you're gonna do much better overtime. Does that make sense? My statement. Maybe that's not clear. Okay, so it wasn't that clear to me. If I think that you can sell products or something else, and you're not taking the time to do it, you're kind of sitting on your duff and you're just thinking about it, but you're not taking any action, you're not going to do much better over time. Okay? So, it doesn't matter where you are, if you're an apartment, house, trailer, townhouse, I don't care. We've talked about it. I got a buddy that does very well, and he converted a charter bus, into a traveling motorhome, where he does his business, and he travels a lot. So you could get paid anywhere what you do. And he likes to write books, and he's a writer, and he never thought he would ever be a writer or anything like that, but he took action and actually did this. So, but you have to pay for your amenities, your upkeep, and that's a much smaller expense if you can take some stress off you, if you already have a skill set and you're not trying to reinvent the wheel or trying to learn something else, and you have something within you that, let's say like photography or something like that, but you already have the equipment, you already have all the stuff. It takes a lot of stress. You could get into business right away, right now, with just the stuff around you. If you just look, you might just have something and an idea that you could do that somebody's willing to pay for. Think about this. Meal prepping. We do it all the time. We make meals. Versus winging it, A lot of us wing it. I mean, especially going through college and stuff like that, we wing it, and ramen noodles here and there, and just even you make many different things, but meal prepping can be actually something that people do right now. People prep meals for people as a business. Think about that. And so we always think of planning as taking so much time, but those who think like that, there's a need now, right? Prep people's meals. That is actually a service. That's just it. It saves a lot of time for the other person, and as you are earning an income. So if you're just figuring this out, you can do things without spending a lot of money and getting into business yourself. And sometimes it's probably even healthier that you don't take on something that you have no knowledge of, but use the skills that you already have and put them into work. Because those are kind of the little things that you can think about in your life where you can make these little changes and have a successful business about. So, spending money on a housekeeper or lawn maintenance or things like that, we could talk about your hourly work next, but you're going to see whether you can afford these type of things, or can you be a service to others in your daily routine. Think about this. Think about your spouse and your kids and your family. Obviously, your friends versus your busy work. And a lot of times in jobs and businesses, we're doing a lot of stuff on the computer. We're creating this busy work for ourselves, and we think we're working, but we're not working. Does it make sense? We end up on social media and stuff. We're wasting valuable time that we could be spending with our friends and family. Travel versus stuff. You wanted that new snowmobile, you wanted that new boat and stuff like that, but could you have taken your family just on a mini vacation? You go up to the Black Hills, or you could go somewhere that explore the state that you're in. Or country that you're in, for that matter, and just what's around you. There's probably good things that you can do besides that next stuff. Okay. Now that we talked about that already, but I want to talk about experiences. So you don't have to travel far. You can just do the things that are right next to you, right? So we're going to talk more about that, but things that are free to you to do or nearly free can be a lot of things that you could actually use as a business. I know it sounds funny and weird, and you're just like, come on, Jason, are you serious? I know a guy right around here. I talked to him one day. He was out of work, didn't know what to do. And he was having that, it's like, I don't even know what's going on and stuff like that, and he was helping people kind of do some odd jobs of trimming trees and stuff like that. And I said, well, isn't that your business? No, he says, he goes, no, I was actually doing something else, and I can't go into details with you guys, but I gotta tell you, I just told him, I said, what if you would cut down people's trees, but they hauled it themselves? Because that was one of his complaints. He goes, I don't have the equipment, I don't have all the stuff. I got good work ethic, and I got a chainsaw. What else do you need? And people would hire him. I said, well, I'll help you. And I just gave him some insight. And he actually had put some ads out, just kind of some poster signs and things about his business. And he said, I'll cut down your tree, or I'll trim your tree and stuff like that, but I'm not going to haul it. I'm not going to do anything. He doesn't have the capability to do it, but he'll cut it for you. He'll cut down your tree, he'll chop it up, and he'll cut it down, he'll trim it, you haul it. And he had that this summer, and he ended up being fairly successful this summer in doing it. And that all it took is some time and stuff. He goes, now this is a business. He has no plans of going back to this job that he lost due to this whole virus thing. This is what he's going to be doing now. He's going to do a whole business. So I'm telling you, you have the skill within you to do something. Whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's this, or whether it's something that you're passionate about, you'll find it, but you got to be looking for it. Now, here again, I want to let you know that you need to also think about exercise versus stress. And people have health problems and expenses and things like that. But exercising can be free if you want. We talked about that. So you can get into your own physical activity. Just going for walks, going for little runs, stuff like that. You don't always have to have a gym or gym membership. People they buy treadmills and things like that, and they have these wonderful gym ideas, and then they sit in their basement and they're collecting dust. So, and then you can find them on the marketplace pretty cheap because they can't give them away. So by eliminating some of the stuff, now you always consult your physician, obviously, before you take any type of exercise, and you know your own health. I don't, but I got to tell you that those things just help relieve stress, and it actually, as the healthier you get, you'll actually not have any extra medical expenses in the future if you start getting healthy now. Does that make sense, guys? I'm sure it does. But here again, I've written this down, and I brought it up a little bit over already, but social media versus anything else, right? I love social media. Podcasts, I have, you guys know that I have at Bridland Media Group on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I like looking at things with my wife on Etsy. People are so creative these days, and some things that we have actually put together from Pinterest. We like that sort of thing, but I don't goof off there. I do have some fun with it. I don't goof off. I use a ton of it for my business, and most of the time I'm out there, and I'm I'm trying to get on forums, learn something, talk to people, stuff like that. I have a lot of friends throughout the whole world who do similar work as I do, and that's kind of it. So I like to stay in my wheelhouse of like-minded individuals, um, and that's a great way to connect with them. But I also still must think about all the time: could this be spent doing something else? Could this time be spent better elsewhere? So I try to limit my time there, and that goes along with thinking we're busy when we're not. Okay, so we think about, we do a lot of things that are out there. If we could just be more efficient, we could do better things, right? So I hope that was helpful. I know it kind of gives you, some examples may not, all this may not always apply to your life, but I hope they get you thinking about things. This is why we're here. We're going to think about things that you can do with your business, with your life, with your relationships. That's the same thing with your relationships. You can still apply the same thing. Think about how you're going to spend your day. Think about how you're going to work during the day. Think about how you're going to spend your evening and what you could do better to live a healthier, happier life and live a life with less stress. Okay? And you got to figure out, where is that? Where are you at with that? And if anyone has some experiences they want to share or thoughts on this or how this applies to them, feel free to post this in this chat. Send us a voice message. Go to @Ryland Media Group on our Facebook and leave it there, and we'll just keep the conversation going. Okay, so now let's go into session 2. We're going to go into leveraging your hourly work. Let's talk about leveraging what that's worth. Okay, now here's an exercise that I think everyone should do. Like I said, if you're an entrepreneur, this is going to be an eye-opening opportunity to set yourself up to make a whole lot more money. Okay, I always talk about generational wealth. We always need money to pay our bills, but we also need to build generational wealth. So if you're an employee and you might be constrained by your salary, but one of your goals is to improve your career, you have to have some growth possibilities. So basically, you got to do what is, I got to think that if you're an employee making a certain amount, divide your salary by 2,000, whatever that is. So if you're working full-time, and that's about the hours that you work in a year, less a couple of weeks vacation. Hopefully you get paid for that vacation. Maybe not these days. So maybe your hourly worth is even more. But if you are not working full-time, or if you're have a vacation, you have to adjust how you calculate all this, okay? Or maybe you've been part of this whole coronavirus and got laid off and things like that, so you got to take that in consideration too. That means when you look at a lot of things you do in your life, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to think about the number of hours you actually work. Yes, you do. Yeah, you work for yourself, and right now you think you don't have a boss. Time ends up being your boss. I'll tell you what, there's not enough time in a day. You may work 67 hours, 60 to 70 hours a week, and some may work less, but I'll let you do those calculations for yourself. That means when you look at a lot of things in your life, you can see what you're wasting a lot of time and money on. These are small little things that seem little just insignificant things. But we only have so much time if we're working a 40-hour work week already. And we have a family, and we have all these things to do. These little things we do really add up to be a lot of time wasters. Just a lot of wasted time. For example, if you spend 2 hours going to the grocery store, my wife and I did that today. We ran some errands, things that we had to do, shopping for groceries, and then we're coming home and we're bringing in the groceries, and sometimes we might be better just ordering online and having someone else bring the groceries to our house. But we haven't done that. But we think about that, that's a time thing, or the time that you take for just ordering it and then stopping by and having it delivered and put it in your car already, so you don't have to walk through the store and do it. So all you have to do is have that be something better to do, and all you have to do is have the time in order to put that away. It cuts so much time. And those are my wonderful dogs I was telling you about earlier that I have. They must. There's deer outside the window, so they're barking at the deer. But I gotta tell you, I know where I am, and I think in the U.S. it's probably cheaper, but I pay what I am worth, and that. So this is what I want to tell you is just that. So when you're going against a lot of financial advice that is out there, and being frugal and being careful with that, if you take the time to scan things, look at stores, have the best deals, you end up splitting up your shopping experiences, so you have to go to 2 stores, consider time or putting it in all that. We all done that. We try to be very frugal, but it comes to the time that you have to learn some things, and you have to try and balance and help manage your time, have the more freedom in your life, and of course you need to evaluate what's more important to you in that case, and that comes down to time and money, and you need to consider whether you tend to spend more money than you have, because if you do, you're going to have a whole lot harder time if you make these time over money saving decisions. Maybe you don't have to go to 2 stores because you don't have enough right now, but if you're going to follow the advice of decluttering your life that we're going to be talking about, you're going to find yourself spending less. So when these type of decisions will be easier for you to make, you may not be there yet right now, but you're going to get there. One of these things that we talk about that's also really important is being an entrepreneur. And I want to talk about being an entrepreneur in session 3. So we're going to close out this session now, and we're going to just cover a few things at the end of this. I just want to say thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for commenting. We got some really great comments on just the start of the new year. We got new things. We got new followers. We have new memberships, and we thank all of you. We thank God for all of it, and we want to bless you. We want you to be the best at everything that you do, and if we can help, that's why we're here. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. We're gonna sign off and have a wonderful, fantastic day.
Awesome!
All right. Bye now.